Guys, if you are looking to build a RAG system using n8n, then you have actually come to a right video. In the next 15-20 minutes of this video, I am going to walk you through creating the RAG system using n8n. And here is the best part, you don't even have to write a single line of code. This tutorial is completely designed for beginners. So if you don't have understanding regarding RAG or n8n, that's not a problem. I'll be walking you through each and every step. If this sounds interesting, let's get started with the video. So before implementing the RAG system, we'll actually understand what a RAG is and how it is actually helpful. So this is a structure of the basic structure of RAG. So RAG stands for Retrieval-Augmented Generation. So this is the structure of it. Let's say when you are actually giving a input to a LLM, without this step you would be like directly giving the input to the LLM and then you'll be getting the response, right? But in this case, we are going to use an embedding model to actually bring out the response from the external documents. So let's say you have a business let's say you have a Shopify store and you have an Excel sheet or some sort of data that is actually put out in an Excel sheet, and you want to get the information of it using the LLM. Let's say you want to know which month you have actually got more sales. So in that case, you can use that particular document to get the information out of the LLM. So this is how you will be able to achieve that particular thing. You need to implement a RAG system. So this is about RAG. Now we'll directly go into implementing RAG system. So just create an account on n8n, or if you would like to self-host it, I have actually created a video on how to self-host n8n. I'll leave that particular link in the cards or in the description. You can check that video and self-host it if you want. Once you are into the n8n dashboard, just create a new workflow. Here, I'll try to give you 3 different ways of creating RAG. So first one would be very simple one, and the total tutorial is going to be with a basic implementation. So for the first thing, we'll just go ahead and implement it in this way. So let's just start with this, and I'm going to add the trigger as trigger manually. And then, so we need to get the information from the document, right? For that, we'll be using a HTTP module. And here we need to get the link of the particular PDF. So this is the document that I have found online. So just for this video, I'm just taking this as a reference. This is a research paper, like a basic research paper on generative AI. So just get the link of this particular, whatever the document that you are going to get the info from, and just paste it in the HTTP module here. And then if you just execute the step, you would be getting the the information from that particular document in the n8n workflow. So as you can see, we got the data along with the file extension as well and the size of the file. So the next thing is going to be, we need to extract the data from the HTTP module, right? So just search for a node called extract from file. Here we are going to extract it from the PDF, right? So just select extract from PDF and then just click on execute step. So here we have all the details of the particular PDF, and the text is going to be in this particular variable text here. So the next thing is, so now the implementation of the basic RAG is going to be we are actually using it daily. So whenever you have a PDF with you and you want to get the information from that PDF, what you would be doing? You'll just try to upload it into a ChatGPT or Claude or whatever it might be, and you'll be asking it for the response, right? So here we can go with 2 different approaches. One is directly giving out the URL of the document, or giving it the text that we have just extracted from the document. I'll be choosing GPT-4o for the example now. So I selected GPT-4o. So this is the prompt that I have come up with. This is a basic prompt. So you are a helpful assistant who provides answers based on only the context or the information given. If there is no relevant context or information provided, you respond with I don't know. You strictly limit your replies to given context and do not include information beyond it. So the context that we are going to give it can be the URL of the particular document, or as we have the text directly, we can directly provide it the text here. And the question is going to be, let's just go to the document once. What can be the question that we can ask? So so let's just ask the characteristics common to both language models and supervised learning. Okay, so let's just copy this and I'll just paste the question here. Or else I'll do one thing, without the question, I'll just first ask it to ask it a random question which is not in the particular context, so that we can understand whether this is actually going to come up with the response or not. So I just asked a normal question of how to prepare biryani. So let's just try to run the flow once. You'll try to understand the response of the model, which is we have to get the response as I don't know, but let's see what we are going to get the output here. So the execution has been completed. So as you can see, the content here is I don't know. So the prompt that we have created is actually working fine. Now let's try to ask this particular question. Now we have to get the response from the model, like based on the context that we gave. So let's just run the flow once. So the answers are here going to be, so we need to get these 2 points as the answers, or maybe side headings as well. So let's just see what we have got here. Yeah, so as you can see, we got these as the output or the answers for that particular question. So this is the basic implementation, or to be honest with you, this is not actually technically a RAG for in the point of development, because this is directly, we are just directly giving it to the model to actually come up with the response. So like if there are some basic tasks that are to be done, you can go with this flow. That's the reason I actually shown you this particular approach as well. And now let's start with implementing the RAG now. So the first thing that we have to do is we'll directly go with implementing the RAG. So I'll just add a new node, which is AI agent here. So I'm going to just go with the connected chat trigger node, and then I'm going to add a system message here. So I'll just copy the same system message that we have added for this particular thing. So I'll just copy this particular system message, and I'll come here and I'll paste it. So we don't have the context here, so let's just remove this here, and let's try to add a chat trigger here. So whenever a chat message is received, we are going to trigger this particular agent. And the chat model, let's just go with the OpenAI GPT-4o itself, or else GPT-4o mini would be also fine. So and then the memory would be a simple memory. Let's just set the context window to maybe 20. So the context window, if you are new to n8n, the context window length here is going to be, so we have the chat that we have added here, right? So let's say if we add 20, then it is going to remember the last 20 conversations from the flow that we have gone through. So and then in the tools, just click on the plus icon and search for vector here. You'll have the simple vector store, just select that, and the operation mode is going to be, so we are going to get the information from the document. So we are going to select retrieve documents, and then let's just add the description for the particular vector store that we are going to create. So that description, if you add the description related to the document that you are providing, it would be more it would be more helpful for the agent to get the right thing. So I just have added a description of the story is going to have research papers on generative AI, and then just keep the memory key as it is, like you'll have vector underscore key as default, and the limit here is going to be, as you can see, if you just hover over this help icon, you'll find that the number of top results to fetch from the vector store. Whenever you are trying to use or call the vector store, this is the thing that you are going to you have to set the limit. If I set 4, you are going to get the top 4. So and then the next thing is going to be, you have to add the embedding model. So there are a lot of other embedding models that you can use, but so I'm just going to use the OpenAI embedding model, which is going to be the text embedding 3 small. Now we have our agent setup, so we now have to set up our vector store. So for that, we'll just go with this, as we have these two things. I'll just connect these two from here, and then I just gave the same URL here as well, and just click on the plus icon and search for vector again, and you'll have the simple vector store. Now we have to actually add the documents to the vector store. So just click on insert documents, and this is the batch size. So batch size, in the sense, in the next step I'll just explain you the batch size once we set up the chunks. So and again you have to choose the embedding model here. Just select the OpenAI same embedding model that you have chose previously, which is over here. and then the document here is going to be the default data loader. So the information here is going to be in the JSON format, and then we are going to load a specific data, which is this particular thing, the text thing. And we don't need all these, right? This is just the metadata, so we just need the text here, and then choose the text splitting as custom. And once you go back, you'll have the option to add the text splitters. So just choose the recursive character text splitter. So this is the part which I told you to, like I told you that I'll be telling you regarding the batch size, right? So the chunk size here is, let's say if you go to the document, so it is now going to take the information in parts, right? So let's say it might actually consider this as a chunk. So the chunk size is going to be like, you can consider it as 1,000 tokens. If we input 1,000 here, this is going to be 1,000 tokens. So the chunk overlap is going to be, so if this is considered as a chunk, so in our point of view, these, let's say these are 1,000 words. If we add the chunk overlap as 200, it is going to take these 200 for the next chunk as well. So it is going to overlap the previous and the next chunks, whatever the number that we gave. If we gave 200, then it is going to get the 200. If we give 500, it is going to go back and get the last 500 of it. So I'll just try to maybe give out maybe 400, or let's go with 300. So, and now if we now go ahead and run this particular execute workflow, you will see we are going to execute this particular setup, and this is now going to store the document into that particular vector base. So this is the sample vector base that we have actually used from the n8n itself. If you try to reload this, then the data would be gone. And now if we try to ask this a question, like if we remove the conversation, and let me just ask the same question that I have asked previously, and now as you can see, it is now going to get the information from the vector store. So these are all the embeddings, and now as you can see, we got the data which is actually there over there. So this is how the basic thing would work, but this is not the production thing, because as I have told you, this is just the sample vector base, which if you just try to reload, this would be completely gone. In order to overcome that, instead of, like, we just have to replace this particular thing with a database. So let's just do that. I'll just try to move, I'll just try to delete these here. And if I just click on plus over here and just search for vector, you'll have the different vector stores which you can choose from. In this video, I'll be going with the Superbase vector store, but if you want another famous one is actually Quadrant, you can use that as well, and also you can use MongoDB Atlas. In this video, I'll be going through the Superbase vector store. So here we are actually going to add the documents. So like in the same way we have actually gone previously, we have to do that, and here we have to connect our Superbase account. So just go to Superbase and then create a free account. You can create it for free, and click on create new project, and just give out the project name. I just gave it VDB, and you can set the password and then click on create new project. This would now create a new project. So just head over to the SQL editor here, and then you'll have the quick start guides, and then just go to LangChain here and then run this particular SQL thing here. And now after this, so success and no rows are written, fine. And then now you have to, we have actually created our vector DB here in the Superbase. In order to check that, just go to database, and then as you can see, we have these here, and if you go to documents, these are the tables that you can find. And now we just have to integrate it with the API. So just go to data API and copy this particular URL here, and click on create new credential, and just paste your Superbase thing here, and just get the secret key. Just go to API things, and then copy this particular service role and paste that in the service role secret, and then just click on save. Now as you can see, it is now connected successfully. Now we can go ahead and insert it from the n8n itself. So the thing that we have to insert in is going to be in the documents, because as I have showed you previously, so the documents is this thing, and then we are going to use the same embedding batch size, and from the previous nodes, let's just execute the previous nodes once, so that we will be getting the information here. As you can see, we got the text here, and then let's just try to connect the embedding models, and also let me connect with the same data default loader, and we are just going to use the same JSON text. So that's it. So this is now actually set up. So we have to now set this particular thing. So just delete this. I'm going to use this embedding model. So just delete this and search for again vector here. You'll have the Supabase vector store, and now we have to actually retrieve the documents from the vector store, right? So I just gave the description like we have done previously, and we are going to choose the table which is the same documents table here, and then let's just go back and try to attach this particular embedding model here, and now that's it. So as you can see now, let's just go into the Supabase, and we don't have anything here, right? So if we now try to run this particular workflow here, this is now going to send the things into the Supabase, like you'll be now seeing the embeddings in the Supabase once we complete the execution of it. So these are the number of chunks that we have sent, which are 33. So we have chose the chunk size as 1000 and the overlapping, right? Based on that, the chunk sizes would be calculated, which is 33. And now if I try to refresh the database here, you'll find, see, these are all the embeddings that we have actually got from the n8n flow. And now if I go into this particular agent here, and then if I try to clear the conversation and ask the same question again here, so I just pasted out the same question, and let's see, now this is going to get the or this is going to call the Supabase vector store and then give us the information. So as you can see, the Supabase thing is now being called, and these are all the embeddings that we are getting it from the embedding model. So we got the response. Let's just try to ask it another question out of the context, the same question, how to prepare biryani, and now it should answer I don't know. Let's just see whether that is going to do or not. We can even try to make the system prompt better, so, and we got the result as I don't know, which is fine. So this is it for the video. If you find this video helpful, just give it a like, and also if you want me to come up with a bit advanced version of implementing RAG on n8n without writing code, just let me know in the comments. If you are interested in learning that, I'd be happy to create a tutorial out of it as well. If you have any questions, just join our community for free, which I'll leave a link in the description for the community. See you in the next one.